Imagine spending over $200 million of taxpayer money on a detention facility only to watch it crumble within months. That's exactly what's happening in Florida right now, and the financial devastation is staggering. Florida residents are staring down a potential $218 million loss as their state's controversial immigration detention center, nicknamed Alligator Alcatraz by critics, faces an indefinite shutdown ordered by a federal judge. But here's where it gets controversial. This isn't just about money anymore. Located deep in the Everglades, this facility was hastily constructed by converting a barely used training airport into what officials hoped would become a model for nationwide immigration enforcement. The transformation happened at breakneck speed, just a few days, resulting in a complex of chain-link enclosures surrounding massive white tents packed with bunk bed after bunk bed. And this is the part most people miss. The true financial impact extends far beyond that initial $218 million investment. Court documents reveal that completely shutting down operations will immediately cost Florida another $15 to $20 million, with an additional $15 to $20 million required if the state ever wants to reopen the facility. Meanwhile, state contracts for construction and operations had already ballooned past $245 million by late July, just after the facility's official July 1st opening. President Donald Trump's visit to the site last month added another layer of complexity to this story. He praised the facility as a potential blueprint for future detention centers nationwide, positioning it as a cornerstone of expanded deportation infrastructure. The presidential endorsement came complete with photo opportunities alongside Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. But here's where the situation becomes truly explosive. The facility has been drowning in serious allegations almost since day one. Reports of unsanitary living conditions have plagued the center, with detainees allegedly being systematically cut off from legal representation, a claim that strikes at the heart of due process rights. These aren't minor operational hiccups. They're fundamental issues that civil rights organizations argue represent severe problems that were previously unheard of in the immigration system. The legal battle that's bringing down this expensive experiment centers on environmental law violations. U.S. District Judge Kathleen Williams sided with environmental groups and the Miccosukee tribe, ruling that both state and federal defendants failed to conduct required environmental reviews for the sensitive wetlands surrounding the facility. Late Wednesday, she denied all requests to pause her shutdown order, effectively sealing the facility's fate for the foreseeable future. Judge Williams made a particularly pointed observation in her ruling. The number of detainees was already dropping rapidly, and the federal government's immigration enforcement goals will not be thwarted by a pause in operations. This statement directly contradicted Department of Homeland Security lawyers who had argued that the shutdown would severely disrupt enforcement efforts. The emptying process had apparently already begun even before the judge's final ruling. Internal communications obtained by the Associated Press revealed that by August 22, Kevin Guthrie, executive director of Florida's Division of Emergency Management, was telling a rabbi inquiring about chaplaincy services that we are probably going to be down to 0 individuals within a few days. Here's where the finger-pointing gets intense. Who's actually responsible for this costly debacle? Homeland Security attorneys are making a fascinating argument. They claim federal environmental laws don't even apply to state projects like Florida's detention center. Their reasoning? The federal government hasn't spent a cent on building or operating the facility, even though Florida is actively seeking federal grant money to fund portions of the operation. No final federal funding decisions have been made, the attorneys stated, essentially trying to wash their hands of the entire situation. 22 Republican-led states have rallied to Florida's defense, filing court papers arguing that Judge Williams overstepped her authority and that federal environmental laws only restrict federal agencies, not individual states. This multi-state support suggests the implications of this case extend far beyond Florida's borders. Governor DeSantis isn't backing down from his immigration enforcement agenda despite this setback. His administration is already preparing to open a second detention facility, dubbed the Deportation Depot, at a state prison in North Florida. Whether this second facility will face similar legal challenges remains to be seen. The legal assault on Alligator Alcatraz isn't stopping with environmental concerns either. Civil rights groups have launched multiple lawsuits, including one filed last month specifically targeting the alleged denial of legal access to detainees. A third lawsuit, filed just last Friday, detailed what attorneys called severe problems that were unprecedented in the immigration detention system. So here's the million-dollar question, or should we say $218 million question. Was this entire project a well-intentioned effort to address immigration challenges that got derailed by bureaucratic oversights? Or was it a rushed political stunt that ignored basic legal and environmental requirements from the start? The timing certainly raises eyebrows. The facility's rapid construction, presidential visit, and equally rapid decline suggest either remarkable incompetence in planning or a calculated political gamble that didn't pay off. Either way, Florida taxpayers are left holding a very expensive bag. What's your take on this situation? Should states be able to build immigration facilities without federal environmental oversight? Or did Florida's government recklessly waste taxpayer money on a project that was doomed from the start? And perhaps most controversially, if the federal government benefits from these state-funded detention facilities, shouldn't they share in the financial responsibility when things go wrong? Share your thoughts. This debate is far from over, and the implications will likely influence immigration policy decisions across the country for years to come.